It is hard to believe that Thanksgiving is here already. But this year we have so much to give thanks for. I'm Ralph LUPOLI, and we at Neighborhoods Today are so thankful for you, our loyal audience. Won't you join us for Thanksgiving dinner?
A GREENPOINT Williamsburg Public Affairs presentation. This is Neighborhoods Today.
Hey, Dick, how are you?
Ralph, good to see you.
Good to see you. I
Good
haven't
to be
seen you
here.
in ages.
It's good to be here.
How are you enjoying your new apartment?
I'm having a wonderful time there.
Great.
It's
Your
just
wife,
good.
is she doing well?
She's excellent, and she sends her best regards.
Thank you.
By the way.
Thank you.
And she also wants the recipe.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, she writes the Neighborhoods Today like you do. She'll get it too,
Well,
and you will too.
That's great. Everything looks super here.
Yeah.
That looks good.
Unfortunately, Rena is on a special assignment, so she's not. You're stuck with most of the work besides me.
That's okay. I'll be happy to do that.
Thank
okay.
you.
Whatever you have to have done, let me
All
know.
right.
And I'll go take care of it.
Okay.
If I can help in any way.
Okay.
Good God, that smells good.
I've got the turkey in already.
Oh, Christmas. Wonderful.
And it should roast for about 2-3 hours. It's a 10-pound turkey, so it's 20 minutes to a pound. And if you have a meat thermometer, stick it into a heavy part of the leg, and when it registers 180, it's done. Give it 15 more minutes.
Oh, that's a good tip. That's a good tip.
Let it sit then out of the oven for about a half hour. Let all the juices come back into it.
Okay, great. What do we...
This is going to be a root vegetable puree that's going to get swirled around and look very pretty. But would you mind starting to set the table up?
Oh, I'd be happy to.
We have to set the table up.
Very good.
And
what do I need now?
Set it. There's a table. I got a tablecloth there, so you can just lay it out after you set the table
Knives,
up.
forks, okay. I'll go to the
Well,
dining.
we're going to have a buffet, so maybe we won't need to do it that way.
All right.
Do what you think. I mean,
Okay. Very good.
We're going to set up a buffet. I thought that would be easier.
Okay. The wine glasses are in there and everything?
Yeah, and also, wait a minute, here's some wine. Why don't you stick that in the
that's fine.
refrigerator and chill it?
Okay, excellent.
And I think we're ready.
Okay, you need anything, just give me a holler.
Okay.
Okay, very good.
Good to
see you later.
Okay.
There is a mighty spirit shining out.
In Salisbury, Maryland, the hungry are being fed. In Wind Falls, Indiana, a man who learned to read at 47 is making sure others learn earlier. In Hope, New Mexico, people turned an abandoned school into a thriving community center. In Boston, Massachusetts, neighbors set up a crime hotline that's making their streets safer. From Seattle to Galveston, from Buffalo to Fargo, every day, someone in America is doing something to light up another life. But there is so much more to do. The light to do it is within us all. We only need to share it. Contact the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
Okay, the next dish I decided upon was a broccoli tabbouleh. For those who don't know, tabbouleh is a salad from the Middle East, and it's made with bulgur or cracked wheat. And it is probably the easiest thing in the world to prepare. We take 3/4 of a cup of uncooked tabbouleh, 1 cup of boiling water. Make sure I got 1 cup in there. Okay. Give it a stir. Okay. Put a cover over it. Set it aside and it's going to cook all by itself. Now, because it is a broccoli tabbouleh and we have other things to put into it, we want to cook the broccoli. So what I'm going to do is show you about boiling and blanching broccoli. Now, what I've done is separated all of this into little florets. You can see that? See that? I've very little tiny florets. And we have our water boiling very rapidly. What I'm going to do is pour that right in there very quickly. Give it a few stirrs. Can you see that turning bright, bright green? Can you see that? See what happens to it? Isn't that beautiful? That's going to set the color, okay? There we go. It's very bright green, and you don't really have to cook it that much because you want it to be a little bit crunchy with the soft tabbouleh. Now, what we're going to do is set the color, and the way we do that is to pour this into a strainer with ice cold water running over it, just like that. And make sure that it's all nice and rinsed off. And you see that's cold now, so it's going to work out very fine. And I'm going to put this back here. There we go. Now, you can see the difference in that. See the difference? It's bright, bright, bright green. And it's absolutely beautiful. And that's the color it's going to stay. Now, what we do is we got to move that back. And let's take this here. Although it's not set, we're going to start putting things into it. But you can see that it is almost set. See? See what's happened to it? That's cooked. See that? It's cooked already. Now we're going to add to that 2 cups of broccoli florets. We're going to add to that 1 cup of shredded carrot. That's all shredded. We did that in the food processor. You can see that it's raw. Whoop! Leave the glass out, Ralph. We're going to add to that 1 cup of quartered cherry tomatoes. There we go. We're going to add to that a 1/2 cup of chopped Italian parsley. Make sure it's the Italian parsley. It's much more flavorful. Let's get rid of this. Put these here on the sink. We're going to add to that 3 tablespoons of chopped green onions. Now, a green onion is also known as a scallion, okay? And you chop it up. What you do with that is, can we see this? Which camera? There we go. We take that off, take off about that much of it. Then, you see this outer peel here? You remove that. And that's pretty much what you have to do. You'll see what you have to remove to chop it up. There we go. See, it's nice and clean. Then you chop up. I want you to see that. You know, we always go through this. Fingers under. Let your knife slide down across your fingers like so. Okay. And there you go. Okay. So we have 3 tablespoons of chopped green onion. It's already done. And basically, that is the tabbouleh. That is the dish. Okay. Mix it all up together. See that? That is really beautiful. Now we do want to make a dressing with this, so we'll use some lemon and oil, some garlic and okay. So what we want to do is Now let's use this bowl. I think that's easier. We have a 1/4 cup of lemon juice. We have some fresh ground pepper, about 1/4 teaspoon. We have some salt, about 1/4 teaspoon. And we need 1½ tablespoons of some very light olive oil, if you have it. And you mix that up. And this is the part I like. A garlic clove chopped up. Our oil seems to be getting in the way all the time. So what we do is chop it up. Okay. Take it on the knife like that. Make sure you get all of it. And I just did something that I always tell you not to do. I did this with the knife when I should have done that. You're going to ruin the blade if you do what I just did. Like a good teacher, do what I do. Do what I say, but don't do what I do. Now you just mix that up together. I have a feeling that the people in the control room are going to get their hands on this because we have 2 of them. And I think we're not going to have this too much longer. I really do. Okay. Now what you want to do is find a pretty bowl. I'm not garnishing anything because we'll garnish it right before, we'll garnish everything right before we serve it. So what you want to do is get yourself a nice pretty bowl and put it in a pretty bowl. And there you go. Can you see that? Isn't that gorgeous? It's all nice and fluffy, and it's a great looking salad. And so we want some saran wrap again. Do we have it down here? Cover that with saran wrap. And put it in the refrigerator. And that is our second dish. Isn't that great? Now, we will go to a commercial, and then when we come back, Dick will be out here and he'll be helping me cook. I think he's pretty much finished setting the table, so he'll come out and he'll help me cook.
This is where I live. There are lots of doctors and machines for me and the other kids. Last week, a guy named Mike came. He took us all on a camping trip.
Mike gives up a weekend a month to help a disabled child, but he gets back a feeling that lasts forever.
When I get better, you know what? I'm gonna take Mike fishing.
To find out what you can do in your community, call the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
Helen, I've got him in the kitchen.
Okay, I'm
gonna
ready to
teach
go.
him-
I'm going to learn something now.
You think so?
I'm going to learn something now. I'm at the
Are you
student of the master.
Are you a person who opens the cranberries?
You bet. I'm excellent at that.
Yeah. Well, we're going to really make them. We're going to make what goes into that can.
Oh boy, that's great. Okay, I'm anxious for that.
So the first thing we do is get these are real cranberries, Dick. You know how to tell if a cranberry's fresh?
No, how do you tell?
I'll show you.
All right.
First of all, let's pour that in here. Watch them go. See, they bounce.
Oh,
See?
okay.
A cranberry bounces when it's fresh, okay?
Wow. How do we keep track of that? Okay.
Why don't you just dump it in here?
Here we
Now,
go.
I'm going to need, this is 1 12-ounce package of cranberries, fresh cranberries.
Okay.
I'm going to need a chopped orange. Do you want to do that while I'm
Sure,
doing
I'll be
other
happy to
things?
do that.
Okay,
Right.
now what we do here is, we need the skins as well, okay?
Fine.
Now, like though,
Okay, I
like
can handle
so,
that.
and like so, okay?
Oh, very good. All right.
Okay.
Good.
You handle that
I
while
will.
I start this process. Okay, we're going to turn up the heat a bit here. And we have added to this pot 1 12-ounce package of cranberry sauce, excuse me, Dick.
Sure.
3/4 cup of sugar. And how you doing? Oh, great.
How's that look? All right.
That looks fine. That's
Well,
wonderful.
I'm
And
quick study here.
2/3 cup of ruby port. Okay?
Very good.
And what we do is stir that. until the sugar dissolves over medium-high heat. Okay, can you see that? I'm allowing the sugar to dissolve.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Okay, we keep. How you doing?
Coming along here.
Hey, look at that, a knife action. You're very good.
Well, I got a great teacher, that's why.
Who was your teacher? Helen was talking about you.
Helen, I only do this on camera. I want you to know that.
Get him to do it.
Oh, boy. Now, are we going to put some of this in there?
That's going to go in here as soon as the sugar is dissolved, or as soon as you get it done.
Okay. I don't know, am I too slow here or what?
That's all right. You do what you need to do. I'm going to start doing this, if you don't mind.
Go right
I
ahead.
had this here, so we can do that. But
It's great to go ahead and be part of this, okay? What I used to do was just eat it. Now, all of a sudden, I'm preparing.
Now you'll-
so I have an intricate
you'll know
investment in this now.
how important it is and how valuable the chef is out in the kitchen who's doing this.
He's the most important guy.
Be it a Pierre Fernet or a Ralph Lupoli or a Helen Mahan, it's all,
Okay.
there you go. All right, why don't we just put that in there?
Very good.
Okay, now
How'd I do, all right?
I think you did wonderfully.
Okay.
Okay, now what we're going to do is toss that around. And we are going to wait for those cranberries to crack wide open. Okay? So why don't we just
Will we get some juice out of that when that
Oh,
happens?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And we want it to thicken up. That's going to take about 15 or 20 minutes to
Okay.
do. Now, when that happens, we take it off the heat.
Right.
And we add a quarter of a cup of dried currants. Currants are small raisins-like
right.
things. And a third of a cup of chopped walnuts, okay?
Okay.
So what we're going to do is that, and we're going to pretend that that's finished,
All right.
okay? And this is what it's going to look like when it's finished.
Oh, boy.
How about that, you see? You see how
Excellent.
the juice is? It's thick,
Oh, yes, I see. The cranberry coloring is...
and the cranberries
to
are
the
cracked
orange and everything,
open.
right.
Okay?
Oh, nice.
And that's a great Thanksgiving holiday thing. Cranberry, port, conserve, which will go wonderful with Thanksgiving dinner. And I thank you for your help, sir.
Well, I was happy to be here. I learned something today.
Okay,
That was
we've got
delightful.
we've got something else to do, so don't run away.
I won't.
I'm not going to let him go easy, Helen. We got something else to do, so just stay right here.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
your man.
Okay, thank you.
For me, the wilderness is a place to practice my art, as it always has been for photographers, painters, and writers. For a scientist, it may be a place to seek the origins of life or find ways to save lives with cures for old and new diseases. For you, no matter what you do, it can be a place to find peace of mind and escape the pressures of the workday world. Unspoiled nature is an essential part of civilized life.
Hi, we're back, and we have Dr. Nadrowski has arrived. Unfortunately, Rena is still on assignment. She has called to say that she's being delayed. We hope that she'll be able to get here for dessert, but we're not counting on it. So how are you tonight?
Very good.
Good.
Fine, Frank. Very
Happy
much so.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody.
I want to tell you what we have here so you can tell us all it's no good for us. Of course, we
It
have
all looks good.
a turkey that's roasted to a turn, and we have a root vegetable casserole, which is done with turnips and parsnips and potatoes and carrots. How does that look for?
Excellent. Well, let's stay with the turkey. The turkey, of course, is low calorie and low cholesterol. Of course, you take off the fat, and you've got the best kind of diet you could imagine every day, for that matter, including chicken.
Right.
People don't realize that one of the big factors in the United States today is that there are so many people who are obese. And the Surgeon General made a comment about that.
I was one of them.
Yes. And it's a disease, so to speak.
Right.
And people ought to realize what they should eat that would be good for them. And yet you could eat quantity, and yet be filled and eat the right foods. And turkey is only 50 calories per ounce.
Right.
So is chicken.
Okay.
And if you take fish, which anytime you do take it, it'll be 30 calories per ounce. When you take steak or the red meats, it's about 80. Less cholesterol in the chicken and, of course, the fish. But if the fish has, it's a shellfish, then you have a problem. There's a little cholesterol in there, but it doesn't matter because you don't eat that much anyway. But the turkey is magnificent, and this is what everybody should have every day, and that looks so delicious, the way you prepare it, Frank, really, very much.
Ralph.
Ralph.
And we have, this is tabbouleh, which is a Mideastern grain. It's bulgur wheat, and it has broccoli and carrots in it, and a little bit of olive oil and lemon dressing, and fresh parsley.
Everything in there. You got tomatoes, the broccoli, and the carrots. They are what they call phytochemicals, meaning plant chemicals, which may have anti-cancer effect.
Great, okay.
And if you take those, besides having the vitamins, for instance, necessary, like for the antioxidants, etc., you've got it right in there. And being the fact that I just mentioned that these may be anti-cancer foods, that's the best thing for all of us.
Right.
Every one of them.
Well, aren't the
phytochemicals.
root vegetables also
Excellent. In fact, you're just describing everything on this table from there to there, including the fruits.
The pear is in here.
Yeah, oh, wonderful. And even the Surgeon General tells us, if you take the vegetables and the fruits and have 4 or 5 portions a day, your health is going to be great. And maybe you might even affect the fact that there's some cancers that may be around that you may be curtailing, and perhaps restricting from growth, etc. And it's just wonderful what you have here, and this is the best thing for all of us to eat every day.
Right. Now, this is probably the worst thing on the table. This is a fresh cranberry conserve with fresh oranges and port wine, and it does have some sugar in it. It has about 3/4 of a cup of sugar in it.
There's no harm in that. Yeah. I would say that there again, the berries of this kind, they're excellent. Again, phytochemicals, fighting cancer of all types, etc. So I would say that should be given, again, a part of your portions every day, besides Thanksgiving.
And my nutritionist says, eat your green vegetables. So here is a salad of different greens with fresh apples, and it's a apple cider vinaigrette.
Excellent. Now, green leafy vegetables are excellent, and they're for folic acid. We found out just recently that folic acid was not looked at as an important factor in the past, but now we believe maybe it has some factor on heart disease. And if you take leafy vegetables, green leafy vegetables, and you also take liver, you'll find that you get folic acid in there.
And of course later we'll have, you know, the traditional pies and that kind of thing. We won't even talk about that.
For Thanksgiving we would talk.
Exactly. So shall we go into the dining room and
why not?
And enjoy this?
I'd love to do that.
Okay.
Good.
In communities all across America, there grows a mighty forest. In small towns and big cities, where people are making beautiful music together, planting here, pruning there, all with the help of their free tree care guide from the National Arbor Day Foundation. This is Eddie Albert. Write the National Arbor Day Foundation for your free How to Prune guide and help make your town a Tree City, USA.
We're celebrating Thanksgiving, and I have an old toast here from the first Thanksgiving, written about the first Thanksgiving, and it goes like this. Heap the table high with plenteous good cheer as we gather for the feast, And let us toast the sturdy pilgrim whose courage never ceased. Give praise to that all-gracious one by whom their steps were led, and thanks to the harvest Lord who sends our daily bread. Pretty nice for an old toast, isn't it?
Wonderful.
Wonderful toast.
That's absolutely
Wonderful.
wonderful.
Good.
Well, we're heaped high with plenteous good cheer
Right,
here.
right. And incidentally, that good cheer and what's heaped high here, if anybody wants the recipes for it,
Oh, yeah.
they should write in at the address we'll be giving them. And everything may not be on this show, but it will be on another show. If we didn't get to show you how to do everything, we'll do it on another show.
Excellent.
Okay?
Gentlemen, my gastric juices are getting worked up. We have this
please.
wonderful meal
great.
here.
Good.
All right, and
Good.
I think that it'd be good if we got started on this.
I will.
All right. Rena, you don't know what you're missing.
I want you to know that I helped and prepared the lettuce here. Ralph gave me a couple of chores to do, and
Anyway,
I'm
and he
assistant.
also helped. He also helped prepare the cranberries.
You did.
I did, and I learned something very important. Cranberries bounce if they're fresh. I never knew that before. I learned something from this man every day. It was wonderful, and I'm sure that they're good for you too.
And if they don't bounce, forget it, right?
If they don't
If they don't bounce, they're no
skip
good.
it. I think what we ought to do is maybe have a nice Thanksgiving toast.
Okay.
For everyone?
Let's toast neighborhoods today and
Yes.
all our staff here.
Right.
And let's toast our audience, our wonderful audience who took the time to go ahead and share this Thanksgiving
And
dinner with us.
as I said at the beginning of the show, we're also thankful for our great audience.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to
Thanksgiving.
everyone.
And eat healthy.
And a healthy meal.
Right.